Hi guys, Mr. Stanwood here. We're on chapter 5, lesson 3A. We did skip all of 5.2, so that's where we're jumping right to lesson 3A. And we'll have 3 lessons of section 3 again, chunked nice and small. The objective of this lesson, move that out of the way, we were going to write linear equations using slope-intercept form, specifically just using the slope and the y-intercept. So a couple first things. There's something called the parent function. A parent function, kind of like in real life, it's the simplest function within a group of functions. It's what all other functions are based off of. All right. So the parent function for linear functions is just f of x equals x, or as we learned last chapter, f of x just simply replaces y. So y equals x. That's the parent function. That's the most basic function there is for a linear function. And this is actually in slope-intercept form. Moving on. A linear equation is an equation that models a linear function. So if it's a linear function, you can make it into an equation, then therefore it is a linear equation. Y-intercept. A y-intercept. It sounds like intersect, like intersection. It's very similar. It's where the point of the line that crosses the y-axis. So it's the y-coordinate of that point. You may ask, why is it the y-coordinate? Well, if it's along the y-axis, the x value will always be 0. All right, and I wrote a letter B here, and you'll see why in a little bit. The x-intercept, similar. It's where the line crosses the x-axis. And in this case, the y value will be 0. So whatever the x value is here, this one doesn't necessarily have a specific set letter, but it will be the x value where the line crosses the x-axis. Here is the form of slope-intercept form of a linear equation. Y equals mx plus b. I've been talking about this for weeks now, and now here's the day where actually we're going to learn all about it. Y equals mx plus b. Slope is the letter m. I'm sure there's a fantastic, good, long reason. I still have yet to look it up. Mountains, they have slope. Mountains and M, mountain slope. Okay, I don't know. Other than that, I don't know. B, the letter B is the y-intercept, as I talked about on the previous page. It's always represented by the letter B. It's not y because there's a y in our equation right here, but it's by the lowercase letter b. That represents the y-intercept of this line. So dive right into it. Identify the slope and y-intercept from this equation. Okay, what is the slope and y-intercept? Cool. We'll find out if you're right. First off, why, and maybe you did say 2, but why isn't the y-intercept 2? Oh, that was supposed to cover it. Oh, silly Stanley. Oh, well. Live and learn, right? You mess up. So let's see if your slope and y-intercept are right here, okay? Let's see. Magic. Did you say 5 and negative 2? You are right. The slope is 5, and the y-intercept is negative 2. Great. Now let's create an equation based on what's given. So what is the equation of a line with a slope of negative 4/5 and a y-intercept of 0.7? So go ahead, pick the best choice. See how you did. Did you select y equals negative 4/5 x plus 7? Yeah, that's it. Slope is m, negative 4/5. That's it. Like, just plug it in, identify it. Y-intercept is when x is 0. That's the y-intercept. That's the starting point. We called it the starting value, the initial value before. Now it's going to be named the y-intercept. Now, last part of this, what is the equation of the line of this graph? So now we're kind of going into the nitty-gritty of things, the heavy duty, which represents this line. So I have y equals negative 2x plus 1, y equals 2x plus 1, y equals 1/2 x minus 2, y equals 2x minus 2. So let's see here. We need to identify 2 things to come up with the equation. We need to know the slope, which is m, and we need to identify the y-intercept. Which can I just look at the graph? Just look at it and identify the slope, or can I identify the y-intercept just by looking at it? Exactly, y-intercept. I can look along the y-axis, see where does this line cross the y-axis. I'm going to get my smileys. Here, this is the x-intercept. That doesn't matter. That does not matter in this. I'm more worried about the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is going down 2, so it's -2. So that means this one can't be right. This one can't be right because they are both y-intercepts, say, +1. So not A, not B. Now I have a slope of 1/2 or a slope of 2. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from my y-intercept to the next point of a line. I'll pick this point right here. I go up 2/1. So up 2, my rise is 2, my run is 1, 2/1. I can check it again over 2/1. It is right. That's 1/2. This one's switched. See, it's switched. Here I have B as the right choice. Y equals 2x minus 2. That is the best choice there. And here is the work for today. That's it. All right. After you're done, check with Mr. Stanley for your mastery check.